Hello, fellow traders. It's me again. Tis I, TheRumpledOne. Oh, I ran out of time. I kind of rambled. So we got part 2 of more price action. Where were we? Okay, I was explaining about the sensitivity of this indicator here. Let me bring it up. The TRO 2017 price action support resistance. We're using the highs and lows as price action indicators. Some people like to call it support resistance. So right here you can see you had this line here. That was a high. It was a high on this bar, and once again it was a high. So you see how it right here, it broke it, came support, it broke it, didn't really become resistance, broke it again, a little more support, now it became resistance. But you see here, according to this indicator, this probably isn't an exact touch. You can see it missed it by a point, 225 versus 226. So what you can do is you can come in here and you say, okay, it can be within 2 points. And as you can see here, it hit a couple of times, and so that's why you've got that all scrunched up, overwritten. Here we have support that became resistance. Okay, 4 bars ago. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 bars ago. So this was 4 bars ago. That was 37 bars ago. So I put that there so the indicator tells you what price is done. Has it gone from support to resistance, or is it low to low, high to high, or resistance to support? So that's part of that high-low price action. Some people call it support resistance. Now, once again, this way, back to the strength calculations. We've got simply, you can take close minus open. If it's positive, then the buyers are winning. If it's negative, the sellers are winning. Then you can take it another way. You look at the sellers won or the buyers pushed the sellers all the way up to the high, and then the sellers pushed the buyers all the way down to the low. Did I say that backwards? Buyers pushed the sellers, then sellers pushed the buyers, and then buyers might have pushed back. And so in a red candle, you can see that the buyers, got pushed down low and then pushed back. Let's see. Let's bring up. Okay, in this particular case, we'll use the squiggly line chart. So here, sellers push down, buyers push back, sellers push back. So between the close and the low, that's all buyers. So when the candle closes, you can see that, eyeball it, this is bigger. So right now the buyers are stronger. So you come here, once again, buyers look stronger, right? But then the sellers said, nope, we're stopping you here, and then they push back. So you can see the sellers are stronger, and then the buyers say, oh no, we pushed back. They pushed them back even higher. Sellers regrouped and started pushing back down. Show who's boss at the time, right? So that's what these calculations tell you, who pushed harder. So I use those. Once again, we do it in a tick basis. We do it just looking at the red green. Is the red stronger than the green, or green stronger than the red? Buyers versus sellers. Actually, red is sellers, green buyers. So you can see here, even though this is a bull candle, according to the tick by tick strength, sellers are winning. Now the buyers are winning. And if you're wondering about those magenta colored dots. That's just the TRO mid dots indicator right here. And so I've got the previous mid dots turned on and all the other dots turned off. Oh, some people say, what's CPR? Central pivot range. Let me turn on the pivot dot so you can understand what it is. A little more on the price action. So you see here, this is the midpoint, this is the pivot point. Midpoint of the previous candle, and this is the pivot point. Okay, pivot points are calculated taking the previous high plus low plus the midpoint, and you divide it by 3. So the central pivot range in this particular case, you've got your pivot, here's your midpoint. Well, you put another dot right here, the same distance, and then this is called the central pivot range. So price, it's almost like a wick zone, central pivot zone. Price gets in there, doesn't like to stay in there. So you can see here, price got in there, didn't like to stay in there. Just doesn't like to. And no, I don't think I've done any frequency distributions on the central pivot range, but in the price analyzer, real-time price analyzer, it does. But that's another video. That can take a whole video, so I won't get too far off topic here. So we're talking about more price action, and so that's why I wanted to show you this using the highs and the lows, and you can see where there could be a turning point. So you see right here, current bar, that was 45 bars ago we had a high. So it's over here, right there. And you see here, prices now respecting that high. And this is dynamic, so as price moves, it will start to plot new lines. So if this high goes higher, then this line will disappear because it just got broke. It didn't hold. Now, along with that reminds me of something. We're talking about price action. Where are we? Got too many charts. Yeah, here we go. Oh, and by the way, I did put the magnified market price on here, and also the bar timer. Why did I ever write this? Because people were telling me I was cherry picking, blah blah blah. So here it has a timestamp, bar server, local time, and also the how many minutes and seconds or hours are left in the bar. That was just because, you know how some people are. They find fault with everything you do. But we're not going to dwell on those people. So what I was going to show you was, if I remember correctly, in the TRO HL5 indicator, down here, because people ask me, only show not crisscross. So what lines haven't been crisscrossed? Okay, so we are looking at the daily period. Okay, because you might say, hey, that line looks like it's crisscross, but we're counting it on the daily. So if you turn here, actually it hasn't been crisscross. What's a crisscross? Okay, here's the open, Here's the low. So it's been crossed once. It hasn't been crisscrossed, meaning it has to have at least 2 candles cutting that line. I hope that is clear. What's the significance? Well, 1, you can see it cleans up the chart a bit. 2, you can see when price is reversing. Okay, so everything else has been crisscrossed. And only show crisscrossed. False. Oh, the side markers, just in case somebody's curious what some you see over here, the colors match. I call those the side markers. So sometimes if you need to do something like you're checking your email and you've only got one screen on a laptop or something, you can make that window a little bit smaller. So for example, if I was editing in the some of the code, I can still keep an eye on what price is doing because I've got these side markers. I can, if I have a trade on or something. So you can see right here in the strength indicator, strength is 100 times close minus low over the range, where the range is high minus low. So that's, so hopefully you can understand that price action. Okay, HL5. Show side markers. Turn that back to false. Now, I want to stay focused here. I've only got a couple of minutes left. So hopefully now you understand the strength calculations, how they're used. We're looking at the price action. You know, how does this help? Well, you see, we can do price action just based on the candles, not even no horizontal lines, or you can do price action based on the horizontal lines, or you can combine them. So for example here, if we pop down to say M5, wow, that's a mess, isn't it? Okay. Price action. Let's be dead on. It's still a mess because we're at M5. Let's maybe pop up to M15. So you can see here, price action, there's the low. Price is making right there higher lows. Well, let's just start here. Okay, lower low, higher low. Okay, still it didn't break this, so from here to here we've got a higher low. Price turned around, broke that. You could have triggered in right here. There's your, you could have possibly exited there. Once again, we've got price action here. It made it slightly higher high, lower high, breaks at the bottom. You could take that price action, pick up a few 5 pips. Once again, making lows but higher lows, turns around. Now this is a long candle. Sometimes you'll see these long candles, price will turn right back around and push. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. When you see that, you can jump in. Here we had a low, it crossed. That could have been your trigger, and you see you could have picked off another 5-10 pips. That's how you do that price action. So any questions, post them, ask, feel free to ask. I don't mind answering the questions. So hopefully you learned something that you can use to drain the banks. Speaking of draining the banks, it's not what you trade, fellow traders, it's how you trade it. TheRumpledOne, off to go drain the banks.